Hi everyone, how are you, my darlings? Welcome to Soul Food with Hellen weekly conversation, a platform where we discuss issues relating to spirituality, healing, and mindset. Today we have a topic that is close to my heart: mental health on our youth. So, as we know it, I believe it takes a community to raise a child. And I believe if we continue with these discussions, conversation, and dialogue around mental health issues, especially on our youth, we'll be able to make a difference in our community and help raise a mentally resilient generation. So it is my hope and belief that we will learn from these conversations. Today, I have with me an expert, Jacquie, who's here to share her knowledge on mental health issues, and I hope we'll be able to learn. Welcome, Jacquie, to our platform and your daughter. I'm so humbled and honored to have you here. Would you kindly introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, thank you very much for having us, Helen. This is my daughter, Hannah, and I'm not expert as such. I'm a lay counsellor, and I also do theta healing. But my main concern is getting people through a very critical time when they can't think straight for themselves and they need help. And teaching people tools and methods of being able to cope and manage mental health, because we all have mental health the same as we have physical fitness health. So, and our youth are particularly burdened with it nowadays. You know, they have a lot more worries and stresses than we did, because we didn't have information at our fingertips straight away. We would have to go to a library and go look it up and do things the long way around. Now, within a few seconds, you must have the answers of the world at your fingertips. That is stressful for a lot of people, not just the older generation who are trying to catch up, but the younger generation who are expected to be there and know it. So,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your passion in bringing awareness in our youth, because like you said, we all have mental health issues, and I also believe that as long as you have a brain, as long as you are alive, there will be issues will come up, and we all have mental health issues, and we cannot run away from that fact. So maybe may you please explain to us what you think mental health means.
well, basically, mental health is just your state of mind, whether it is you're in a good mood, you're feeling happy, you're excited. That's the best way to be. You can't be that all the time. You need to be able to identify when you need help or when you're starting to need help. So if you're keeping a good mindful account of your thought process, then I'm not talking about logical thought here, I'm talking about your emotional thought process. How you're going to cope with the situation. Look at the anxiety that everyone in the world right now is feeling because of the pandemic. Now, if you're not aware of your mental emotions and health, then you could end up spiraling into major depression or severe anxiety. We're all feeling anxious, and that's a normal, healthy response, because we've all never been in this situation before. And it doesn't matter that we've been in this situation for so many months now, it's still stressful because we don't know what the outcome is going to be. We're all worried for our families and friends. So you have to keep a good eye on your thoughts. One of the best ways to do that, even if you don't feel you have a mental health issue, this is like going to the gym. One of the best ways to do that is keeping a diary and trying to see if your thoughts are running like they normally would, or are you more emotional to one side or the other. So you overly happy and there's no real reason for it, or very down, or both up and down all the time. most people are generally on the same path of thought and feeling, and then something happens and that trauma will trigger things for them. And that's normal. Like if you, God forbid, have a death in your family, it's going to affect you. And yes, your mental health is going to take a bit of a knock. You're going to feel upset. But this is normal. Normal grief, and you go through different stages. So, people, I don't know if Hannah wants to tell us, especially with the youth, she's mentioned to me before, people jump to a diagnosis without even really understanding it, not getting it from a professional. I'll speak a little bit later about the things that you can do when you think you're needing help. But Hannah can just maybe tell us about how it is with the youth and how people are labeling themselves, which is
Yes.
terrible because you start putting a negative thought in your process. And that,
Yes.
you think you have to fit in that box, and that's not how we should approach mental health. It
All
shouldn't
right.
be labels that accuse people of things that might not even be that. Even if it is, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yes. Maybe she should start by introducing herself and the age
Okay, I'm
when
gonna
she.
let her have a seat for a second, and I'll be back. I've just got to go take care of the house.
All right, it's fine.
My name is Hannah. I'm a high school student. I'm 17. Um, I've noticed, particularly in my grade, that everybody has this need to fit in. So as soon as they think they've got a mental health issue, they immediately want to put themselves in a box. And even labeling each other. Like, people will say, "Oh, I'm such a retard because I failed this test," or "Oh, my mom's bipolar because she's yelling at me the whole time," or, "My ex was a complete psycho." I just feel like everybody has the need to fit in, and that's why they label themselves. And then they, so because we have the internet, everybody is now an expert on something which they're actually not. They feel the need to label everyone else too.
It's very true, especially where you say most people they are trying to fit in. That's a big symptom that affects especially young people, and I feel like it's an issue that maybe not everyone wants to come out of that shell of being labeled negative or something, and would want to identify yourself or himself with everyone. So when you're around these people, you try to change the color and conform, and that's one of the issues that is really affecting the young people, and I really appreciate that you brought it up. So I don't know, maybe if you or Jacque can maybe help us understand, or to help our audience understand why there's so much stigma around mental health issues. Why is it a taboo to come out of the shell and say, I have this issue, before we start talking about people being able to recognize that they have an issue? There is stigma around mental health. Maybe if you can explain to our audience.
Well, just speaking from my experience, earlier this year I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. And I knew that there was something wrong, but I didn't want it to be something so scary, because mental health is labeled as something you should be afraid of these days. And if you have this disorder, then crazy or something. So, when I was diagnosed, I was relieved because I finally had an answer to I was feeling the way I was feeling. I was also scared because, how I want to tell my friends and I don't know how they're going to react. Fortunately for me, when I did tell my friends, they were all very supportive and they were asking questions, not to pry, but to try and understand and educate themselves so that they can support me through the time I was going through. And I feel like a lot of people scared to come out and say I have a mental disorder because it's been so stigmatized and labeled as this scary thing. Like horror movies, for example, they're always taking place in old abandoned asylums, where people were crazy. And so,
sorry, we're playing musical chairs. One of the reasons there's such a stigma around mental health is because previous generations didn't understand it, and they were happy to take people who they thought had problems, whether they had problems or not, put them in like a hospital, or as Anna said, movies like asylums, leave them there to be cared for. So it was a shameful secret. Didn't tell the family that it was someone that was in an asylum, have gone overseas or whatever. It was the older generations. And as we've progressed with technology and the way we bring our children up and all that kind of thing, the stigmatization for a lot of stuff has fallen by the wayside. And the movements like Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ community and gender-based violence, we have started opening up, diversifying ourselves. So that's why it's so important to have this discussion now, Helen, because we can get the stigma taken away. There is no stigma. If someone wanted to lose weight, you wouldn't stigmatize them. Yes, there is still shaming that happens. Don't see them as they've got a disorder. They gained weight because generally most people, not health problems, they stopped exercising. So the same happens with you. If you don't take your mental health and keep a good routine in it, then it could become a problem. If you have one little thing that's there and you question it, but you don't actually go find out about it. And we can learn from our friends what each person is feeling. That's a big help anyway. I mean, you don't have to have a mental health problem to experience mental health. We have days where we feel sad for no reason. And that's normal. So we just need to understand that there's some people who get stuck in those days and they might need help. They may have a brain injury that no one ever knew about.
I really applaud Hannah for being a brave girl that she is, that, she's someone who's able to speak out about the problem that she had, and she's not afraid of judgment. She's not afraid of stigma that comes with it. I really applaud you, Hannah. You're such a brave girl. Keep on going. That's what we need to normalize. We need to normalize these conversations. We need to normalize that when someone is going through something, it's okay for them to give them space to heal, because that's what we all want. Not stigma, not judgment, not trying to ask them, why are you feeling that way? I think that's the idea. There's so much ego around these issues. You're such a child. What's worrying you? Why would you even worry? I'm your parent. And I love that, Jacquie, to have a daughter who's able to speak out. It means you have created a safe space for your children, for them to relate with you and communicate their issues. And I believe if we can all internalize that aspect within us as parents, as a society, we'll be able to reach a place where we won't have such alarming rate of suicide like what we're experiencing. I was talking to my friend who sent me a message this morning. There's someone who posted on his status talking about a boy or a girl, I no longer remember, who had committed suicide after failing matric, or because she didn't know how to approach her parent. And she thought maybe it's better for me to kill myself so that I make it easy for my father. So under those circumstances, it's so worrying. That's why I believe we need to come together as parents and as children, as youth, to be able to understand that mental health is real. Failing once is not the end of the world, but like I said, there's so much ego that is around this. So maybe if you can tell me, how are youth like Anna are able to break this taboo and come out shining, like what she's in a space of where she's not intimidated, even if she hear people saying negative things about mental health. She's grounded because she knows that this doesn't define me. So I don't know, maybe if you can take us through, how are you managing to break barriers? How did Hannah do it?
Well, Hannah can talk for herself, but I just want to say something. You mentioned, Helen, that I create a safe space for my daughter. I do. I try my very best to be open with my children and let them know, and their friends, and anyone I know, if you have a bad thought, rather than keep it in your heart and worrying about it, speak to someone, anyone, your mother, your father, a teacher, another adult, an auntie. If you look at what happens with suicide, those people that post on their status before they kill themselves and stuff, those people are actually asking for help first. And we can't get angry for them asking for help. If you think it's looking for attention, it is, but they just don't know how to ask for the help. So yes, they look for attention, but that is one of the key things that people, loved ones and friends, should notice. Changes in people's way of speaking, what they're saying, not necessarily how they're saying it, and sometimes how people say stuff. They will literally be saying goodbye to you. You do need to ask questions. Don't ask them why, though, because if they knew why, they would be able to do something about it. Hannah can tell you how she's going about breaking the stigmatism and what she thinks is the best thing that adult parents, friends can do if they notice someone is needing help. Even if they don't notice their help, if someone comes forward to them and tells them they have this problem, they've seen a doctor or something.
I think it's swift. So, despite having anxiety, I've always been a relatively confident person and quite outgoing. So, and I'm always happy to talk to people about basically any topic. So, if somebody were to say something about mental health, then I would tell them, not everything I know, but I feel they need to know. And with my friends, they wanted to be informed, and I think it's important that you talk to somebody about such an important topic like mental health. They want to be informed, because otherwise you're just going to be talking to a brick wall. Like my brother, he's got ADHD, and he is all over the place sometimes with his emotions and physically as well, because he's got all this pent up energy. And it's taken me a lot of understanding throughout the years, and I still struggle with it sometimes. He, despite having family to support him, and stand up for him and fight for him, he's been bullied his whole life because nobody understands him. And last year, when he was in primary school still, the principal didn't believe that ADHD was actually a mental disorder, and that dyslexia as well wasn't real. So I think it's important for people to want to be educated on the situation. Otherwise, you're going to be talking to somebody who just wants to argue.
Perfect. It's very true. Listening is a very, very important skill when it comes to mental health, and knowing that if I open up about what I'm going through, it's safe for me. And from what I'm picking from everything, I'm really learning that it's something that you as a mother, Jacquie, you have given yourself that role. No matter what, I'm creating a safe space for myself, for my kids to thrive, for my kids to be their best selves, express themselves, and to just be. Because I believe many parents, the reason why they they cannot stand their kids going through like what Hannah has been going through, anxiety. It's like it's ego in a way that we say, you are such a child. Why? We ask why, not how can I help you? How can I show up for you so that you get better? So I believe maybe it's time that that's what I'm learning from you, Jacquie, that you are more of how can I show up? How can I help you through this? And many parents are like, why are you doing this? Mr. and Mrs. So son is doing well. You're already comparing. You're not trying to understand the root issue. And maybe that's why many teenagers are getting to a place where they say they are giving up, because we as parents, we are creating hell. As society, as community, we are not well educated on these issues. So I don't know, maybe if you can help me know, teach us, Jacquie, how did you get to realize that I think there is mental health issues? What symptoms did you see before they came? And before they came to you to say, mommy, this is what we are going through, or what did you as a parent pick it up, and how did you play it around?
Okay, well, I've been studying mental health all my life because I never knew what was wrong with me. And it seems that I was possibly ADD or ADHD as a child, but at that point, I was never diagnosed. So now I already grew up with a very hard time at school. So I was very aware always. This is what I went through. I don't want my children to go through that. And I did various things. I qualified as a medic because that's a huge passion of mine, is emergency medicine. But then when my children were born, I decided to study teaching in a specific manner that will help my children to identify if they have any of those kind of mental problems or blocks, or maybe dyslexia. You know, there's a lot of things that our brains just don't always normal. And I don't think anyone is actually normal. Normal is a fallacy. Everyone's got something unique about them, and whether it be that they've got a learning difficulty, it makes them special in their own way to be able to maybe help someone else. So we need to just think about that for a second. When I noticed my daughter wasn't coping and she was telling me her thoughts and feelings, and I could hear day by day it was getting more and more negative, and she was seeming less confident. And I mean, a mother knows when their child has something they're not saying. But I could tell that there was something she couldn't say because she didn't know what it was. That's when I decided to ask her if she would like to see someone and talk to them. Because when you take them to a professional for a diagnosis, or even just a normal counsellor, and the counsellor will be able to tell you yes or no. I mean, parents should trust their instincts, but we also can't blame parents when children do take their lives, or they end up getting addicted to drugs or something. Remember, I don't know if you remember when you were a teenager, Helen, but it's rough being a teenager. You have all your hormones driving you crazy. You don't know why your body's doing what it's doing and why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And then on top of it, you have the pressure of school and achievement and success. So, you know, parents, we need to remember the struggle of being a teenager, just without any added pressure of what our children get added to. The children's homework today, you look at I can't do my daughter's maths. I did maths through high school. I can't do it now.
I can't do it all.
So things are getting more difficult, and it's a lot to expect of a child. So if you can just come from that point of view, and remember that children don't always know what's wrong. They might not even realize there is a problem. They don't see the change in their behavior. So you as a parent would see something's different. And instead of accusing them or fighting with them, talk to them. Let them know that you're there and you want to help. You shouldn't care why they have this problem. You should care what you can do about the problem. Help them so that they feel safe and they can tell you. If it's out of your ability, you look for help. You find help. If your child's got a sickness, you're going to take them to the doctor if you can't fix it with medicine from the chemist. So if your child's got a problem studying or something in school or just not themselves, you can take them to a doctor or doctors that specialize, and your GP does have training in this kind of thing, so they can also help and guide you to the right professional. There's educational psychologists as well that specialize in, is it a school problem, learning problem, or is it a emotional problem? So I don't know if you want to.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. I loved everything that you have clarified on the issue that you as a parent, how can you get in the space of maybe getting a glimpse of the symptoms when they start showing up. And I believe the one of the main point is around the issue of paying attention without the idea of why, but how can I show up? Because in the end of the day, life is going to happen to us all as adults and as teenagers. They have their own issues. And I also remember as a teenager, I was at a boarding school. So I remember sometimes I would go to bed. We usually studied up to 9 p.m. in the evening. Then we go to bed. And sometimes when I am in bed, I would cry for hours. But I didn't realize what was happening with me. So now as an adult, I'm now going back to my childhood and try to figure out where was I getting this idea of having to worry. I think like what Hannah said, it was anxiety. And I feel like I had anxiety disorder now that I'm now getting awareness on the mental health. But it's not normalized even in the school system, in the education system, to create that space for kids, you know, or maybe to have, I actually believe there is need for psychologists, counselors in every school, because the mental health issues have no age. And I understand that I've been a victim. I would cry for hours after start in bed. No one could see me, no one could talk to me. But when I begin to realize the issue is I was trying to fit in. I felt excluded. I didn't feel loved. I felt lonely. You know, those issues, like if you dig deep and talk to teenagers, it's one of them key issues. Like Anna actually mentioned about it, like when we started talking about it, she actually mentioned about the issue of people trying to fit in. That's the problem, low self-esteem and low self-confidence. And it's really unfortunate no one is doing anything about it. That's why I don't like motivational speaking, because motivational speaking tells you what to do. But I believe we need to incorporate a system where we give space for kids to express themselves, to heal. Because the idea is not tell me to be successful, tell me to be strong, tell me to get over it, to let go and what. Tell me how to heal, tell me how to do this. So I don't know from your perspective, Hannah, as a victim of mental health issue, what would you say you would love to see happening in the society? I understand your home, I think from your mom, she's giving you all the support, but you don't live at home 90% of your time. We relate to the outside world, we relate with school. So I don't know, what do you want, or what would you, from your perspective as a teenager, as a youth, what would you want to see being normalized in the school environment, in the society? Whatever you think, feel free to open up about.
Well, I'm part of a group. Well, I'm trying to get my certification in diversity training, so I can be part of a group at school called Diversity Champs, and they handle internal issues in the school like sexism or racism or gender-based violence or rape culture. And being part of that group, I'm really hoping to introduce a group to help the students who are struggling with mental health. Because just speaking from my own point of view, despite me having the mental health issue in my friends group, I'm always the one that they come to for advice, and they always talk to me when they've got an issue. And recently I told my friend, because I noticed she hasn't been coping very well, I told her, I don't want to push it on you, but I do think you should see someone, just even if it's just to talk. So what I really hope to do is in school create a program and a safe space students can talk to other students about their mental health, because it is so important. And like my mom said earlier, these days it's hard to be a student. You've got all the knowledge in the world at your fingertips. If you don't know how to access it, it's useless. So, and also I think the teachers should be trained in mental health counselling. For example, the one day at school, I had to write a test and I was so worried about it. I had a panic attack at school. And though the teachers were there and they were trying to comfort me, it wasn't working. I was busy trying not to cry because I don't want to embarrass myself at school. So they called so I messaged my mom and I told her what's going on. She told me to just take a rescue, calm down. And then she explained to the teacher that I can't write the test today. I'm not stable enough to manage at this point. So then the next day, when I was feeling better, I wrote the test.
Schools nowadays, they are getting better. The Department of Education is trying to implement a lot more updated methods of helping children. When I was in high school, we got told how to write a CV, and it was pretty much my hello. I didn't do anything else. But nowadays, just looking at my daughter's curriculum, there are a few things that can be helpful. But like you said, we do need our schools, where the children are spending most of their time, to be able to identify the children that need help, make it a safe space for children to be able to go to, like Hannah said, peers. If you look at how children learn, they actually learn much better from their peers, not necessarily learn the right things. If your friend explains a maths problem to you, they will probably explain it in a better way than the teacher did, not because they're better than the teacher, because they think the same way at that age. So having a peer, like Hannah was talking about that group, having a peer that's maybe been through something similar, being able to talk to each other about a safe space where that stigma has been taken away, that's a great way to help. Even if the teacher, I know there's lots of worries about people being sued and silly things. You know what? You just know that if you don't have a friend in school, you can go to the safe space and speak to someone and they'll know who to call at least. Something like that. A lot of our schools are trying to improve and start measuring the child's EQ and not just the IQ, because your emotional quota is just as important as your intelligence quota.
Yes.
Your growth.
Yes, and I feel like why would they bother the kids with learning how to do the algorithms, those statistics in maths, when they don't address the emotional well-being of kids when they are young? Why can't they incorporate in the education system the issues of teaching the kids to learn how to address their emotions? Because you know what, Jake, we live in a world where someone is 14 but he has an emotional capacity of a 10-year-old. We live in that world, and I think we see it every day. It's something that we experience, and we are able to observe it in our relationships, be it at work, be it wherever we are. So I'm thinking, if I have such a low EQ, like you mentioned, IQ and EQ, how can I, as a teacher, I have the emotional well-being of a 10-year-old or a teenager? How can I show up for a teenager who is experiencing, mental health issues, mental health disorder, stress, wants to commit suicide? I don't have the mental capacity to understand where that teenager is coming from. So I think it really becomes difficult. So I love the fact that you are mentioning that the education department is doing the best to address this issue. And I also feel, us as adults, let's not leave it like to the education department, to school, to teachers to deal with the emotions of our children. We need to bring that awareness at home and try to educate ourselves. Let's not be too hard on our kids. Life is not all about passing meds, and there's more to life. That child needs to know that she is valuable without that metric. Rather than that, she will say, I'm wasted, I better die. There's nothing more valuable than life. Metric is, you won't go with it 6 feet when you die. It's just one of the things. So I think maybe we need to take our attention from the materialistic world and educate our teenagers, our children, the kids, about the spiritual stuff, the spirituality of life. There's more to life. Be strong. Life is not against you. Those kind of things. Thank you so much for highlighting those issues. So maybe if you can take us through, what practices can we incorporate to sustain? Now we want to be at a place where our youth will be able to sustain the knowledge, the wisdom. What practices can they incorporate in their everyday lives so that they change, adjust with the waves of life? Because it's true, life will give us storms, life will test us, but we need to be mentally resilient. And it's not a one-day prescription where you say go home, relax, and what. It needs to be internalized from our subconscious mind. So maybe, Jackie, if you can elaborate on that.
Okay, so there's a couple of things that we can do. I'm just going to quickly give you some technical terms so you can understand different treatments, because sometimes you go see a specialist or a counselor and they tell you something and you don't even know what they're talking about, then you're confused. So I've studied CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, and DBT, which is dialectical behavioral therapy. And personally, I like dialectical behavioral therapy because it's the practice of mindfulness, and anyone can do that. So being mindful is literally thinking about your thoughts. And there's so much free stuff online. You don't need to spend money to try and help yourself or your family members or friends. You can look for mindfulness exercises, and there's simple things. One of the easiest mindfulness exercises is coloring in a picture. Because it takes your focus of your problems away. You're coloring in, concentrating on what you're doing there and then. So literally, a 5-year-old up to a 100-year-old can do that, and it's not going to be expensive. Mindfulness is all about being in the moment. So we use techniques like meditation. We use thought capture, which you basically keep a little diary. And there's another practice that you can do where you start off on, let's say you decide you want to achieve great mental health at the end of next year. You start off next year, you even start now, you just write one thing that was good in the day. Because no matter what happened in your day, if you practice gratefulness, it helps to build a positive neural path in your brain. That's why meditation works. So you can list 10 good things, or just one good thing if you can only manage one. And then go back and read it when you're feeling very stressed or very down, like everything's going wrong. Because all experience these emotions all throughout the day. Just sometimes tend to get stuck in one specific feeling and don't know how to get out of that feeling. So doing things like that. Exercise is also, physical exercise is also very good for your mind. It helps to balance all your hormones and the brain chemicals, and you're keeping your body healthy. And if you keep your body healthy, it does in turn keep your mind healthy. What do you do to help with your bad days? Are there specific things that you do, Hannah?
Well, when I'm having a particularly stressful day, usually what I do is I go and I just lie with my mom in a room because it comforts me to know that I will always have somebody who's there for me. So I'll just go and lie in a room and watch a program with her. Or if we've had a fight for some reason because
You're a teenager.
I'm a teenager and I think I know everything. Then I'll message my friends and I'll say I'm having a rough time. And then my friends, they all have different personalities, so they all do their own thing to help cheer me up. And it works. Communication is what helps me when I'm having a rough time.
And what else do you like to do?
And also like to do something where I can get a finished product because all my stress and anxiety into what I'm making, and then it comes out beautiful. Like we recently started doing resin, so you can make coasters or little trinkets for necklaces. And I love baking. Baking is one of my favorite hobbies. And if I'm lying in my room and I'm upset or something, I'll get up and I'll go and bake something. So yeah, if I can do something crafty or something with my hands, it helps release the anxiety as well.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're not like into exercise like me, maybe just take a walk around your neighborhood. That's safe, obviously. That's another concern. But take a walk. Sometimes people like going to the shops and spending money, which creates other problems. But like there are things you can do. Like Hannah says, do something that gives you an immediate result. or you get a result that you can see pretty quickly. That's why colouring in works so well, because you've coloured a picture in, you can see it looks pretty, and it's something you've done. And that's the kind of thing you can do to maintain your mental health, even if you don't think you've got a problem. Having a hobby makes a big difference in your life. You don't have to have expensive hobbies. Your hobby can literally be going around and looking at your neighbours' gardens and seeing which ones you like. I used to do that when I was a child. We used to walk around the neighbourhood, and my sister and I, we used to give them points on their garden. A little bit embarrassing when the people heard us, but it was just a fun thing to do. It actually helped calm your mind.
Very true, beautiful. I think Hannah should bake for us because it seems like she's practicing something that she loves. Yeah, there's something that can come out, a positive thing that can come out of it. Maybe those negative thoughts and negative feelings, they can help awaken the other side that you haven't tapped onto. So maybe it's very important, like what you were saying, to express yourself, expose yourself, and allow yourself to go out, find out something that you love, to take your mind out of that negative space that you have indulged yourself in, imprisoned yourself in. So it's very important, and I love that we are hearing this from a teenager, a young person. Something that I feel like I would have known when I was your age, but we didn't have anyone to teach us or educate us. Like what Wadzai has mentioned here on the comment section, she actually mentioned about her like being at school, crying in bed on the first day at school. I didn't even know what was causing it, and it's something that relates to what I was saying. Like I used to do that, and I remember even in my first year in college, I used to cry so much. And I went to college when I was 20. I was an adult. I was no longer a teenager. So maybe it all comes back to low self-esteem. That's why I'm saying mental health issue has no age. We all feel something. We want to feel connected and be part of something. So it's that time when we are feeling disconnected from ourselves, it's easy for us to get squared, and we get in that space where we feel like, I'm not worthy, life is happening to me, people hurt me. And, I actually had a chat with one of the teenagers. She texted me on my WhatsApp and she said, Hellen, I don't feel good about the way I look. I'm so tiny, small, and people are always making fun of me. Now I don't even like going to school, but I don't have anyone to speak to. So it's showing me that the bug is still there. It wasn't me, and it's not just you, Hannah, but you are taking the steps. It's not just here. It's something that we are all experiencing, and it starts from the young age where someone feels like disconnected from everyone. So I don't know what you have to say, Hannah, from your own perspectives. What would you say to this girl who's saying, I hate myself, everyone hates me, I don't feel like I'm worth anything? And what I was saying, I used to cry at school the same as me. What would you say? Like, how do you see it?
I think that everybody is insecure about themselves, but sometimes you have a rough day and you feel particularly bad about yourself. Earlier, I was literally telling my mom, I don't know if I want to go on to the interview because I don't like the way my hair looks today. And then the other day when I got my hair cut, I was so pleased with it. My brother tells me when I get home, oh, it doesn't look as bad as it did in the photo. Then I was upset and I regretted cutting my hair. But sometimes just having somebody to talk to, even if it's a stranger, it helps because you can tell them how you're feeling, and they can take from their personal experience they felt, try and apply to your situation. I mean, nobody's situation is ever the same. And I understand, crying at school. School is a very stressful thing for me to deal with. And I've got good friends, I've got good relationships with most of my teachers and most of my classmates. Just all the people at school. There are so many people at school, and then you got to worry about your grades and stuff. And people are always going to be judgmental and comment on your looks, and it's generally because they're reflecting their own insecurities. Another thing that I just wanted to bring up was it's never your fault that you feel that way. Yeah, you are in control of your emotions. If you have a mental health issue, it's not your fault. The other day when I was talking to my friend and I said, I think you should see somebody, she said she's upset because so and this and that. And then she said she feels like it's her fault. And I said to her, it's not your fault. Don't say it's your fault. You're allowed to feel this way. You are in control of your emotions. And if you do have a mental health disorder, then you aren't, it's not your fault that you feel the way you do. You can't always control your emotions. Despite what everybody says about you can control your emotions. Sometimes you just need to have a good cry. Sometimes when I'm feeling stressed, just having a cry, like a good cry, for no reason at all, or for something small, I feel better afterwards and I can carry on with my day. It might seem a little crazy, but it helps me.
That's an important thing that you also said, Helen, is sometimes you need to just feel your feelings. Nothing wrong with feeling your feelings. If you're cross, it's fine. Be cross. Don't let it be such a thing that it starts ruining other things in your life. That's when you need to look at finding ways to manage it better or getting help to see why are you experiencing that specific feeling so intensely. I mean, you get cross when people are rude to you. You get upset when you get a bad grade. And you know what? It's not the end of the world. You can always rewrite a test, or you shouldn't live your life for other people. You should live your life for yourself. And if we can teach our children that from a young age, they will be so much more successful in having the struggles they do. Yes, there are times in life when you're going to struggle. Being a teenager is a struggle. It really is. I mean, you have hormones that are doing stuff to your body and then it makes you moody. You don't understand your moods, but that someone needs to tell you that's pretty normal. If it's feeling very, very abnormal, that's when you ask for help. And if you feel silly, and there are places where you can do this without people knowing who you are. You can phone like Lifeline, SADAC, the South African Association for, I can't remember now. It's for depression and anxiety. South African Association for Depression and Anxiety. They've usually got toll-free numbers on the internet. So you can phone and be anonymous and just speak to someone. They are very well trained, probably better trained in they deal with your emotion there and then, and they can give you good advice on how to handle the emotion or how to handle that problem. At the end of the day, we are the ones who ourselves have to handle that problem. So you get to know yourself by doing mental wellness or mindfulness practices. You get to know what triggers you, what upsets you, what you do like, what you don't like in your friendships, in yourself, and then you can start doing things to make them better. So no one should ever feel ashamed of struggling with their emotions at any point. Because we all have days where that is, and sometimes it lasts longer.
Yeah, very true. We all have bad days, and I like the fact that Hannah is really well versed with the topic of mental health, and she's full of wisdom. Like the way she understands and she approached this situation is something that I feel like, she's beautiful inside and out. She's strong. Yes, life is offering her lessons for her to learn from this anxiety. Anxiety is not happening to her, and she knows it, and she's confident. And this is my hope and desire, Jackie, that our youth will be able to know about this. Your circumstances do not define you. When things happen, it's okay to cry, feel it. And this is what I always say, Jackie. When things happen, don't take it personal and try to fight and resist the emotions. Embrace them. It's a moment that will pass. And, there are days that you feel good, and there are also days that you feel bad. And it's okay. And this is what I wish everyone will know, because I believe it doesn't just affect the young people. Even us as adults, we face things, we face situations. So it's really important to understand that when you go through stuff, life is happening for you. What am I learning from this? What is this here to teach me? And the issue of trying to force and coerce our kids to be stars, A class, to take the trophy, the medals, and what, I think we're just pressurizing a frog to fly when it can't, or a fish to fly when it can't. We need to get in touch. I believe this is the time that we need to get in touch with understanding what gifts does my child have. Because me, I wasn't an A-star kind of a kid, and I didn't even know that I loved talking. And my teacher just mentioned in my last day in high school and said, Hellen, I want you to speak on assembly. When are you going to speak? And I even laughed and I said, yo, don't be funny. You know that I don't even speak in front of the class, and you want me to speak in front of 800 kids. Oh, no, not anytime soon. So maybe with time, it's stuck in my mind. And one day I just woke up and said, I'm going to speak on the assembly. And I did. And I fell in love with speaking, you see. But I spent almost, that was my 13th year in school. We adding all those years from primary. I didn't even know what I love. I had not discovered my passion, and I only discovered it out of the classroom when someone mentioned something. So I believe, education is not doing enough for us. It's giving us pressure. Go get a degree, go get a master's. I know I come from Zimbabwe, and I know most people who have got degrees, masters, they've never worked. Like literally, they have never worked. But you are giving us education is the key to the best life. Yet I love dancing, or I love singing. Beyonce is a star, is a millionaire, and I don't think she has a master's. So, we give our kids pressure, which affect their self-esteem and their self-confidence, how they show up in the world. And they spend their lives thinking they are foolish. Yet they have this untapped talent that they haven't been given an opportunity to embrace or discover, because society saying you have to have an A in maths, you have to have an A in English, you have to. No, I think it's time maybe we need to change the way we approach life, the way we see things. We are no longer living in the old world. We need to adjust and understand our kids. And I really applaud what you are doing, Jackie, in raising your kids. And I wish to have you as often as possible with your daughter. I love the wisdom that comes from a teenager. It's like I'm talking to someone who's an experienced psychologist or something. But she's talking from experience, and I want to encourage you, Hannah, don't stop. That might be your purpose in life, to bring people to light. If you speak about your truth about mental health, it's okay, open up. It's okay, don't give up. Those words can save a life, and that's what matters. So you keep doing it. You might be in high school, but maybe God is trying to channel you towards your path. Maybe you are not here to be a statistician or an economist or a what, that's how we discover our passion. So stay open-minded with that desire to learn. I love your energy, and I wish I had this wisdom that you have. When I was a teenager, when I used to cry every day at night and I used to hate myself, oh my God, I never used to feel like I'm good enough. Even in college, I struggled so much. So imagine if I had your knowledge. I'm only now starting to learn about these things, and I'm turning 30 next week. And look, but it's never too late. It's okay. But I want to encourage you, keep shining your light, even if some people may not resonate. It's fine. Keep doing you. I love your energy. I love your space and what you are speaking. And I would love to have you as often as possible. So you educate your fellow teenagers and youth so that you highlight it based on your own experiences. So that's really beautiful. So maybe before we leave, maybe Jackie and Hannah, you can tell us something that you want to leave our audience with, the wisdom and the tools or whatever that you want to share with our audience.
Okay, well, Helen, what I want to say is, and this is to everybody at some point or almost all their lives feel like they're not enough. You are enough. As a parent, you're doing the best you can with what you know. Don't beat yourself up if something goes wrong with your child. If you know you were there and you tried your best, you did what you knew how to do, that's good. You can't be beating yourself up for that. As a teenager or a child, you know you did that test and you studied and you worked so hard. You didn't get the grade you were hoping for. It's not the end of the world. And maybe speak to your parents and ask them if they can maybe help you find out if you've got a problem. Not everybody can do advanced mathematics. And sometimes some of us feel like normal mathematics is advanced. So you've got to be gentle with yourself and with other people. If you're not gentle with yourself, you're harming yourself even if you don't feel it. Like you said, when you were crying, feel your feelings and don't be hard on yourself if you're having a bad day. You need to cry. Cry. You should stop telling people don't cry, because crying is a natural gift given to us to help relieve stress. It allows other hormones and chemicals to do things to help us get over the difficulty we're having at that time. Laughing also helps. Like, you can't always laugh at everything. Some things are serious, some things hurt. And what is your parting wisdom, Hannah?
Thank you so much for having us, Helen. Just wanted to say, earlier you spoke about how I've been taught lessons, and I really think that everything in life happens for a reason, even if you don't realize it at the time. Like, when I was taken out of custody from my mother and I lived with my dad for 5 years, I was miserable, and every night I would cry myself to sleep. And I would always pray and hope for somebody to come in and rescue me. And only recently have I learned that I myself had the power to take control of my situation. And I wish I had learned it earlier, but what I went through made me stronger and it made me who I am today. So, though I wouldn't have liked it to happen, it did have benefits to teach me certain skills and help me grow as a person.
Beautiful, beautiful. You know what? I believe this is the time that we as adults need to open our ears and learn from these young people. These young people have strong messages. We are the one who are confusing them and trying to manipulate and control them to conform. I've learned something beautiful today. We have wise beings who came here to teach us, and I believe as adults, this is the time. Let's listen to our young people. Let's listen to the teenagers. It's like I'm speaking to someone who's a well-established coach, motivational speaker, or a psychologist, counselor, or what, or maybe Jacque, you are giving a counseling lessons and stuff.
No, not really. She just is wise. Usually she ignores what I hits her head, learns the hard way, and then come back and says, "Oh, you were right, Mom." It's just like being a mother. They always do that. So all you
Yes,
can do is
beautiful.
support them and give them the advice. Always, advice is something people take or ignore. So
Mhm. Wow. You've got a great future, which is bright, that is ahead of you. Keep rolling, keep going, my girl. I love talking to teenagers like you who are grounded and who knows what they do. And you said earlier about you not feeling comfortable with your hair. You look beautiful. We didn't even say
thank
it.
you so much.
Wow. What I saw first when I saw you, it's like your soul. It matters. What matters is your soul. It's not about how I look, because people are not concerned about how you look, and I think that's one thing that keeps us, having such, negative self-talk, low self-esteem, especially as teenagers. I feel for me as well. I never used to feel good about the way I look. I always like oh my hair, oh my head, oh my legs, oh my what, everything. I always felt so uncomfortable. But you came here and look how I'm so drawn to your energy. I'm so drawn to your wisdom, and I'm sure everyone who will catch up or replay on our life will be able to learn a lot from what you have been saying. So keep showing up is your true authentic self that you are. Keep sharing your story. You don't know where it will lead you. I'm so impressed and so proud of you. I see myself in you as a teenager who became wiser at a young age. Yo, what a inspiring story. I love it. So, Jacquie, thank you so much for having you here. I don't know if you have your website or a business page or something that you can share so that our audience will be able to follow you on your website, or what, if they want counseling services or what, maybe where can they get in touch with you?
They can contact me on Facebook under my name through Messenger. And I do have my own page, Mindful Body and Soul Awareness, on Facebook. Then I'm trying to think now, on Instagram under my name. So yeah, I'm pretty much on social media. So if you just spell my name correctly, you'll be able to get a hold of me. So yeah, and then I'll encourage Hannah to make her own Facebook page. She doesn't have one yet. I think she needs one now.
Yes, she needs. You see, the world is waiting for people like you to hear your story, to inspire. It doesn't matter if you talk to one person. It's not about having. Look at my page. I started last month. I don't have a huge following. I have a passion, a drive, a desire that if I bring Hannah on my platform and she speak her truth, as long as it's there in the world, whoever resonates will gravitate towards you. So don't worry about people so much. Stay grounded. You've got a wise mother. Many people, they do not even have their parents. They are damaged, wounded. They don't even know. They are confused. So You are so blessed to be where you are. Your story is very powerful. Put yourself out there. Still young, so many opportunities. Sometimes I wish I knew what you know now. I would have been somewhere, because it sabotaged me a lot, not knowing the truth of who I am. Now I'm starting to come out. Now I'm learning. Even me, I don't feel good about coming here and speak. Who feels good? Who feels like what you said, Hannah? Who feels good? We all have our own issues. They'll be like, English is not my mother's tongue. What if, I am stammering all the way with Jackie, and as long as she's picking what I'm speaking and stuff, this is the time, Hannah. The world is waiting for people like you. Keep shining bright. And even what really commented here, and she said, wow, Jake, you have a wise daughter. She's a shining star. Thank you for being there for her always and letting her express her feelings and putting her face. You see, so it's like mother and daughter. You are teaching the world. You are teaching us, because I'm the mother also. And I hope I'll be coming to you also for lessons to ask how to show up for my son. So I really appreciate you for having you here, and I would love to let our audience know that this is the time that we need to encourage our children to expose themselves to inspirational spaces like this platform, or wherever, on YouTube, on Facebook. There are some people who may be able to educate and empower our children in a way that we may not be able to show up ourselves. So I believe this is the time to give our kids an opportunity to learn while they're still young, so that they don't have to grow up as damaged adults, and they have to recover from their wounds, pains, and past. And I believe also for kids, Hannah is an example of an open-minded young girl. So I want to encourage all our teenagers and the young people who are watching or who watch the replay, that go through life with an open mind. Listen to others, listen to everyone, listen to life. When you listen, you will know. And when you know, you will learn. And when you learn, you go places. You will change the narrative of the old stories. You'll be able to be the best version that you can be, because you're allowing yourself to incorporate new knowledge that you were not aware of. So instead of going through life judging, putting others down, bullying, and that negative approach towards life will not help you grow. So this is the time that we need to grow ourselves and meet life with a different view, perspective, and attitude, and express our true authentic self. And I'm so grateful for having Jacquie and her daughter here. I feel so honored, and I really appreciate all those who are watching and all those who watch the replay. I really appreciate you, and I just want to let you know that I love you. We are coming back with our topic. Will continue with our discussions. Mental health issue is what we are on. This is the movement. We are not stopping. So keep sharing the page, keep telling people about this page, so that we keep on bringing people who inspire us, educate us, and share their knowledge. I really appreciate you. I love you all. Thank you so much. Till next time. Bye-bye.